Alright, so we're back with some more Tamiya stuff. This is a recent lot I just acquired, and it's got some used and some new stuff. So I'm going to basically go over it in sections and then show you where I'm going to start off. I have some stuff already that I'm going to throw at this TT02R, so let's get into each part of the lot. Alright, so we'll start with the parts lot. Essentially, it's TT02 parts and TT01 parts, and then some random bits. This half is the TT01, this pile is the random bits, and the rest is for the TT02. Some of which I'll use on the TT02R build, but yeah, it came with some decent parts. This servo here is already in the TT01. This servo looks like he was going to install it in something and then didn't. And it's got 2 brand new batteries, as well as a new Castrol Honda Civic body. The holes haven't been drilled, but it's been painted, and the decals installed, so that's pretty cool. I'll set this aside. I'll either use it for something in the future or sell it to somebody who needs it, so we'll see. Also came with some other stickers, including some chassis protectors. If I can get it out of the bag. Came with a carbon fiber as well as bottom of a car. So those are pretty cool. Stickers left over from one of the bodies, I assume the truck. The Castrol instructions, and then some details it looks like that he had done for the TT01. Some of the literature that goes along with that. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to show the TT01 next, and then the TT02 that's been opened. And we'll go over the rest. So based on the build quality of this TT01, meaning like the way the body was cut out and the way it was painted, the choice of parts that were in the lot, that tells me that the previous owner got into this style of racing kind of in a rush and decided it wasn't their thing. So after making that decision, they decided to sell off the lot. And that's the way I like to buy my stuff, is from somebody getting out of a certain genre. But here's under the hood here, nothing special. Get the stock shocks, stock drive shafts, and some Tamiya brand motor and ESC. You know the servo it has, so that's not connected, and this is loose. So this will be going under the knife, basically a full reassembly. I'm not going to start with it, but it's good to know that that's what needs to be done. I may end up, well, I know I'm going to put a different lid on it, but I may end up adding this to another series I have in mind, so yeah, I'll definitely do that. That's the plan. So this is going to be cool. It's not going to be anything like this. meaning I'm gonna take the rear bumper off, change the wheels, and I think I'll have to change the front bumper too, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what's going on with the TT01. And like I said, based off of how this kind of looks rushed, I think the previous owner didn't want to do Tamiyas anymore. So let's look at the open TT02. Alright, so here's everything that came in the box with the car. The body is pretty beat up. I'm still going to keep it and run it just so I can preserve mine. I actually picked up one of these bodies, so I'll do mine up. Maybe I'll do it white. Maybe I'll do it a different color. I haven't decided yet, but here's under the hood. Nothing special. Stock drive shaft. You can see some kind of makeshifty stuff here, so we'll be getting these things up to a better standard. But yeah, it also came with this pack, as well as an antenna tube. It's quite the packaging for it, but just the instructions for the body and for the chassis itself. So this will be something to bring the standard up on, and probably put some upgrades on it, but no rush for this. I'm not going to start here. Came with this receiver, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, the TT02R and the Alfa Romeo are brand new. I actually have another Alfa Romeo I picked up, the same one. So probably do those at some point together. One of them will have the livery and one of them will be a solid color. But yeah, that's what I got. So I'm gonna share what parts I'm gonna put on the TT02R after I get this stuff put away. Alright, so this is the route I'm going for the TT02R. I'm going to do the Audi 90 Quattro. I've had this body for a while now. I've been trying to decide which chassis I'm going to put it on, so this lot came just in time. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. Like I said before, I already have this Alfa Romeo. I'm going to do one box art and I'm going to do one custom, just a solid color, either red or blue, I'm not sure yet, but that'll be down the road at some point. I'm going to start here with the TT02R. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what's in the box. I know it comes with some upgrades. The chassis, it's for the most part the same as the other ones. This gray plastic looks to be a little higher quality. Got some nice aluminum bits in there. Nice. Comes with the ESC. Looks like it was already soldered. I don't know if the guy took anything from this. I didn't see any seals broken, so it's pretty straightforward. That looks like a broken seal. So maybe you wanted something from this bag. I won't know until I get started on building it. Alright, so I'm going to start on the first few steps. Check back shortly. Alright, so this is what I've got done so far. Just installing the center drive shaft and the spur gear. About to start with the differentials, but I have to go to work for a little bit, so finish that when I get back. Alright, so I'm back from my first job. I have a little bit of time between that and my second job, so I'm going to continue building and we'll see how much I can get done within the few hours. Alright, so it's been about an hour and a half. I gotta get ready to go to my second job, so this is where I'm gonna call it, and this is how far I've gotten. I followed the instructions except for installing the engine or the motor, just because I don't have that yet. So that's where we're at. Next up is the shocks. So when I get out of work, I will start on that. I went ahead and went with the low friction option here out of the option parts. So that's good. I'll get some other stuff that I may use from that lot, but making some good progress. So when I get out of work, we'll see how far beyond the shocks I get. Well, turns out I don't have my second job today, which is okay because I can do some landscaping and take care of my chickens. But anyways, yeah, normally I work the Monday after the weekend I have off, but because it's a holiday, the new scheduler, who is for the house and not for the people, decides to not schedule me even though I would normally be scheduled. So I'm glad I called before I started to get ready, because I had a feeling that may be the case, and it was. So now I can build the shocks and then go take care of my other tasks. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them built, maybe fill them, take care of some other things, and then come back. We'll see after I get them built what I'm gonna do, but that's honestly a good thing. Now I can kind of relax. Alright, so got the shocks built. It's actually a decent quality shock, even though it's plastic. I got part of the steering rack installed, and put the wheels together just so I could look at a roller instead of just seeing a bare chassis. I still have to glue the wheels. These are the upgrades I've gone ahead with. This will be the steering servo. So that's pretty cool. Making some progress. I'm just gonna take a break now and go work on some other things. non-RC related, and I'll come back when I finish that and keep plugging away. This is the point where I decided it was time to take a break. It's requiring cutting off 2 millimeters of these rod ends. I already put one together to see if it was necessary just because of the little gap there shown, but it is necessary, so I'm gonna have to go back and trim those up and then get them installed and keep moving on. So yeah, making some good progress. Check back in a little bit. Alright, so it's a few hours later. Got my tasks done, and I went ahead and already got those links built. Decided that this wasn't going to be an issue, and was able to trim those and get them fitted correctly, and I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to keep moving along, see what else I need to do, and just kind of get things fastened up here so that all I'll need to do is install the electronics, glue the wheels, and finish the body. Alright, so this is where I'm at. Got the car pretty much built. Just have to install the motor and finish the body. It's gonna be a nice car. Got some nice upgrades on it. So looking forward to having this one complete. I already got the radio excuse me, hooked up to it. So looking forward to getting this body complete. But this is a good stopping point for now. Come back tomorrow, see what we can get done. Alright, so I got the body painted. I went with the pearl white. I had 2/3 of a can left from when I did the boomerang. And then I backed it with Traxxas white to make it absolutely opaque. And then I finished off the can of smoke I had left. So what I have left to do with this car is get a motor, install it, and put the decals on and the body accessories, and then I can drive it. The TT02R is awesome. I'm glad that I had the other upgrades to go along with it. So I'm gonna stop at this point with the video for this car, because I'll do the rest of the work and then come back and do some more recording. But I've got a couple more TT02 things I'd like to share, and then we'll wrap this up. This was my first TT02. And you can see under the hood, I did some upgrades. The 02R comes with more upgrades than what I had done, but yeah. Here's under the hood here. I did the motor plate, and I have a fan in the motor cover there. I did not do the smoke on the NSX, and I think it makes a pretty good difference with and without it. Obviously I still get the film on there, so, but yeah. Oh yeah, I did the shocks too. Most of the stuff's racing. I did the motor plate as well. This one came with the motor plate. The spools there, I'm sorry, the drive cups there. I put the metal bushings in here, anti-wear ones. So that each one has slight differences, but this one doesn't have all the same stuff. As you can see, it's got the same dog bones and drive cups. These ones are much nicer, including the rear hub. The pivot balls for the shocks. So, yeah, I'm satisfied with my build. It drives really good, so I can only imagine how much better this one drives. This one has more of speed gearing in it too. So definitely look forward to finishing the TT02R. It's going to be cool seeing the two of those lined up. I've got a couple other kits that I acquired recently. Just show those off and then keep moving along. So I picked up a couple more TT02s, and it's because I was on Liquid RC on eBay, and when you buy multiple things from them, they give you deals. So I was just scrolling around looking, seeing what they had for Tamiya stuff, and these wheels were labeled as last in stock, so I put those in the cart, and as I added those with the TT02s, the price went down, and I was thinking about the paints that I need to finish the stuff for the Cross RC WT4. So I added some other things, and the cost continued to go down, and I capped it out. So I got them down from $139 to $118, and the price of these things went down as well, but I forget what those numbers were. So that's the reason I went ahead with this. I'm not going to build these anytime soon. I just know that they're kind of hard to come by once they go away. That's why I ended up being excited about having two of those Alfa Romeos. I actually bought one of the body sets of this car back in 2015 when I first started with the hobby, and it had it was the Jägermeister one. I discarded the rest of the decals. I may have them somewhere. I'd have to really look to dig them out, but I didn't want to miss out on this body, so that's why I did that. And if you've been following, you know my TT01 has this body, and I'm in the process of trying to figure out which route to take, or if I'm going to do the box art. But yeah, so that's what's been going on with my Tamiya binge. Don't worry, I'm gonna be back on the nitros soon, so if you're here for nitros, stay tuned. But yeah, I really honestly have to wrap up this tow truck. So the last thing that was holding me back was the sound module, and I thought I got the right one, but it looks like the trumpet here will not fit in that housing, so I think I got the wrong one. And at this point, I just want to get this wrapped up, so now that I've got the paint, we're gonna go ahead and finish it on up. Pretty much just have to paint the components as I put it together. So now that I've gotten some of my Tamiya stuff and gotten some of it done, I'm going to start shifting my focus back towards that tow truck, just because I'll be able to use it with a lot of my cars. So, if you've made it this far, thank you for your interest in radio control. Thank you for your interest in my perspective of it. And definitely going to want to stay tuned. As you can see, we've got a lot of things to go over, and a lot of things that you guys don't know that I have. So, stay tuned, and we will be seeing you in the next one.